AMZ Stars, Best Quality Podcast for German Market.
So, herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Ausgabe. Ich spreche jetzt gleich weiter auf Englisch, weil dieses Mal habe ich den Andi und die Yeting, die leben beide in China und betreiben dort eine Sourcing-Agentur. Und in diesem Podcast wollen wir ein bisschen darüber sprechen, wie das Sourcing in China funktioniert. Und am Ende haben wir noch ein ganz spezielles Angebot, auf das ich dann noch eingehen werde. Let's get started with this podcast. Yeting and Andy, please can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Timo, for having us. My name is Andy.
Hello, this is Yeting.
I come from Leipzig originally. I live here in China for about 2 years now, a little bit more than 2 years. And I started to get to know about the Amazon FBA business back in early 2015 when the whole thing with the private label journey, I think, also started. And ever since that, I was into product sourcing, and we have our own Amazon business and do product sourcing ever since then.
Yeah.
What about you, Ting Ting?
I'm a Chinese. I know Chinese market. I know how to negotiate the price. Yeah. I'm with my husband, Andy, now located in China, Ningxia.
We do product sourcing for about 2 years now here in China, from the location up north in China. So we're not near to a harbor, but we have good connections in China. And we do product sourcing for our own Amazon business. We sell to North America, but also, of course, for other clients that we got from previous jobs, freelancing jobs. And now we have a lot of German clients that we handle.
Doing sourcing. Most of the time, I would do the sourcing jobs for German clients and American clients nowadays.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the sourcing. So what I always hear is that if somebody who's not Chinese asks for a price, they get a different price than if a Chinese person asks the same company. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Is that even true?
Yes, it's definitely true, because for Chinese, we really like to negotiate the price. That's number one. Number two, we're using the same language. The way we talk is like, just give me the lowest price or something. And that's a lot of factories. They just give the price differently with foreigners or if you're really Chinese. For example, I do a lot of sourcing work on Alibaba, which is the Chinese version of Alibaba. Usually, they don't have English pages on Alibaba, so most are Chinese clients looking for products or suppliers on it. That on that page really has so much price difference. They usually offer much lower prices than the price they give to the foreigners.
Okay, so there's already the first benefit if you read Chinese, and if you just are capable of finding the websites that are not available for foreigners.
Yes, foreigners can also check in, but you can.
Certainly, I can only agree to this. When I first started product sourcing, it was actually back in Germany, the beginning of 2015, when the private label journey and all this stuff just came up in Germany. I started to still do it from Germany, from home, and on Alibaba.com. A lot of the people that you talk with, first you have to figure out who is a trading company, who is the real manufacturer, and then the second thing is also the quality is much different. When I got to China, and Ting Ting was telling me about 1688. That's what she's talking about Alibaba, because I see Chinese equivalent. She were telling me about this website, and I realized when we had the first sample orders how different they were to the same exact products, just from Alibaba companies. And also the professionalism in the way that when you talk with an Alibaba company, a factory on Alibaba compared to a factory that is on 1688, and it's a huge difference, I would say. Price.
So who's more professional, the Alibaba listed companies or the one on 168?
Yeah, it depends on 1688, they're more professional to make good products and sell a lot of them. While on Alibaba, they are, how do I put this? They're professional for, I would say, just trying to get the client, more professional in marketing their own company, right, than they are on making a product itself. That's my opinion.
Okay. Yeah.
They are based on the same level, but they on the suppliers on Alibaba may have more higher cost to hire those people who speak English or German languages or other languages. That's the biggest difference. But for the factories or manufacturers, most manufacturers located in Shenzhen or Guangzhou, they don't have too much difference. Just the requirements you ask them, maybe you want higher quality product, you can just tell them what exactly the quality you want, and they always can make better qualities.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what.
So the companies, would they already have like an export license? Because I understand that this is like a requirement. So if they're producing for the local market, how would you overcome that situation, if that even is an issue?
It's not always an issue because I would say that, I don't know if you agree, I think, but in general, I think they all have an export license, most of them, but there still are factories, of course, who just do it for the Chinese business, right, for the Chinese market, and they might sell to an actual trading company later, so that the trading company takes care of that part. But the thing is that you can use different services also. Like, let's just assume that they don't have an export license. You can use another service that is basically the middleman to get these products also out of China. But I would say in most cases they do have an export license. Yeah.
Most of them, it's like a half-half. If our clients really don't want those product from those factories, they don't have exporting experience. Yeah, I can also look for other factories. They do have this experience because most suppliers from Alibaba, they know how to do it, but they just don't put a lot of attention on it, exporting the products. That they have experience, but they don't focusing on it. And I can look for these suppliers who can able to do exporting or selling
who
products.
Have experience.
Yeah. Always can find them.
Okay, and there's like one aspect to that is like if like you mentioned it already, that some of them are trading companies and some of them are the actual factories. So I would imagine like if it's the actual factory, you get the best price because the trading companies, they somehow they also have to charge make a markup or margin. Do you see any benefits of working with a trading company, or is it always better to go straight to the factory?
Benefits with a trading company?
From my view, always go to the factory directly will be, of course, the lower cost for the product. I don't see too much benefit from working with trading company, actually.
I don't see any benefits there either. It's just, I mean, if you want to go for your first couple products, I mean, you might think about going to the trading company. They have more experience with it, right? Getting the products to a foreign market than the factory has, right? But at the same time, nowadays, the Amazon marketplace is so overflooded with new sellers and Chinese sellers and foreign sellers that you should go directly to the factory. Otherwise, you just cannot keep up with the price. If your manufacturing cost is already too high, how are you going to compete if you buy from a trader, right?
Yeah. Okay. So there's like a big advantage is when you do work with a local sourcing agent, they'll bring you straight to the factories, which otherwise I would imagine is kind of hard to tell when you're just looking at websites. Then what kind of products do you typically source for yourselves or for your customers?
Well, for ourselves, it's pet related, it's pet product related. it's not a typical pet product, I cannot go too much into details, as you can imagine.
We do pet supplies.
Yeah, pet supplies is probably the category, I would say. We have an experience with that, but I think
for my clients, they do everything. Like, I have a lot of clients selling, for example, kitchen stuff, because for Germany, of course, Germans really into these kitchen tools.
For some reason,
yeah. I a lot of clients searching for kitchen tools and some table tools. What else?
What's a table tool?
I mean, like, what is this called? In German, this which is used for table.
Oh, you mean, the cover for the table and stuff like this, yeah. I mean, household stuff, household items. Yeah. You do a lot, outdoor products, I remember.
Yeah. Also, coffee pot. Remember
coffee pots, yeah. Basically everything.
Usually like daily usage.
I would say, though, the majority is smaller products still nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Smaller products still.
Not too much cost. Like,
not too high cost,
Not too high cost. Product is very popular recently.
Anything that requires certificates or something that you need to check before the product gets exported?
For some of the products that go to the US, right, you always have to check for the FDA approval, right?
And for Germany, a lot. For Europe, a lot of electric products.
Electric appliances,
really,
you need the CE,
most of factories nowadays is like they don't have specifically like for one test that you require for one product, but they can help you to do it. I can make a list on it as well. I will ask the detail about to the factory and say, if you have this product, for example, CE or that certificate. If they don't have they have a contact to help us to get one to run the test. Of course, the client need to pay the test fee for their own company if they need to do the OEM for their own names, labeling, logo, everything. Otherwise, if the client has special requirements for certificates for special supplier, also can make it a list for those suppliers who only has these certificates.
Yeah. So I would say it's up to the buyer to be aware what certificates are required, because that's different for every market, like every country. And you need to communicate that to the sourcing agency, and who will then communicate that with the factory. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we will talk with the factory in general about these certificates, right? Because we are the people who are gonna talk with the factory in person. And I mean, if we know that there are certain requirements, certain certificates that you need to have for this product, we will make the buyer aware of that too. But we don't have experience with every product that you can get in the world, right? Mm-hmm. So there might be a product that we don't know about the restrictions for the product. Yeah. So it's good to check by yourself. Obviously, it's your company.
Mm-hmm. I can make a list of conditions and read it on it.
Yeah. Okay. And how large are the orders that your customers are typically placing through your sourcing agencies?
It really depends. We have big sellers and small sellers just started.
I mean, it always depends on the product, right? Like, if you're talking about our own products, for example, we order in the thousands, 2,000 pieces per product, because it's going to the North American market. Yeah. It's a little different than Germany, I think.
You also can do the tests.
Yeah. And we had clients who ordered like 10,000s of products, but these products usually are very, very cheap. I mean, you're not going to order, for example, a couch table 10,000 times if you're a small Amazon seller, right?
Small tools, for example.
Yeah.
But you also can on a test order, like, for example, 200 or 300 pieces for the first trial order.
Yeah.
Can always come with suppliers if they agree with this MOQ, because some suppliers really they start with maybe 5,000 or 2,000 MOQ.
Yeah, you need to talk them down as well. Like in a lot of cases, you can talk them down, and the price of the product will go up. But yeah, that's something you need to see. What can you?
Yeah, I think like the MOQ, that's like huge in China. Like, you know, I'm sourcing products in Germany, and they never have like an MOQ. You know, you can buy one if you want to.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. But I know how it is that, you know, they always want to have like large orders. And it kind of makes sense because, you know, like you know, it's cheaper to produce in China, but it's only cheaper if you buy in large quantities, because otherwise you have so many other costs associated with it, you know, like the shipping and so on, that just everything goes down with a lot higher quantity.
Yeah, but sometimes we also really take small order quantity but they will raise the price, of course. So.
Yeah, that reminds me of one product that I sourced a long time ago when I was still sourcing myself, and nowadays it's Yetting who is basically sourcing the product. When I was sourcing one product for a client, she wanted like a beach couch. So it's basically like a gigantic cushion, right? Like a cushion that you can put on the beach. It's like 2 meters by 2 meters, and you can lay on it, and it's very comfortable. But the price ended up to be a production cost of like $40 because the client only wanted 50 pieces, and 50 pieces for certain products, the production cost is going to be very, very high because they're not going to give you a good quotation. Yeah, you definitely need to keep that in mind if you source in China.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the cultural differences. You know, do you think there are cultural differences, or is business always business? You know, it's all about the numbers. Like, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I can tell more than Yetting in this case because you didn't do much business in Germany, did you, right?
No.
But yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, it starts with, I don't even know where to start. Let's just take when I was visiting a factory down in Guangzhou, down south in China, and I don't know what you do in Germany exactly, but the meeting with the factory didn't happen in the factory. It happened in a Chinese restaurant. Exactly. Where you just eat lunch or dinner, whatever it is, and you drink alcohol. You know,
yeah, the supplier invites you.
The supplier invites you.
They want to keep you contact for long term relationship.
The factory invites you, and you gotta follow the rules. You know, drink a little bit with him because that's like it's not good luck, but it's like that's how you make business in China. Mm-hmm. A lot of times you actually have to get drunk to make business in China, if it makes sense.
If you get to know with them very well for looking for a long-term relationship, of course, they will give you lower price again, like lower than the first time you think is already low. Yeah. That's really established on good relationship, long-term relationship. Which,
better MOQs, stuff like this. Yeah,
which they think like they better meet you in person, or they really know you. This guy is trustworthy. For example, I'm Chinese. Some Chinese don't really trust Chinese, but they trust foreigners. So they need to meet up with them, and then as I introduce what they're doing and get to know each other, and then they give you maybe better quotation. And
But one major
so basically, if I were to hire you, I would pay you. So you go drinking with a supplier. So I pay you to get drunk. Is that right?
That doesn't really happen, no.
No, they haven't. But yeah, for long-term relationship.
But you have to get the good price. I mean, like I'd be happy to to invest in your drinking if that lowers my price.
Yeah, I mean it does lower the price, right? But you cannot always do that. Yeah.
Not 100% sure, but you better get relationships. Yeah.
But in general, I think there's one major difference, and I just forgot what I wanted to say. Yeah, I forgot what I wanted to say. Actually, it doesn't matter. Let's move on. Maybe I figure it out later.
Okay, so there are some differences, and depending on, like, sometimes it's good if you're Chinese, sometimes it's good if you're not Chinese, and in your case, it's like the best of worlds, German and Chinese. So you understand both. You understand the customers, and you understand like the unique Chinese business culture. That is pretty good. You said it in the beginning, but I'm not like too familiar with the geography of China. Like, where are you based in China, and where are the factories? Are you close to the factories where you live?
Right now, we still live in the north part of China, right? It's all the way up in the north. It's close to Mongolia, actually, very close to Inner Mongolia. But we want to move at the beginning of next year down south, because we regularly go down south just because we like it, and also
we have a lot of clients asked us to go there too.
To go there. And plus also it is of course very convenient for us. Instead of flying there all the time, right, we just have the factories in front of our door. Especially if you live in a place like Guangzhou, you have like 40,000 factories, no, 4,000 maybe, 4,000
So
factories.
Guangzhou is near Hong Kong, right? Is that area?
Yes, near Hong Kong, yeah.
Not far, yeah. Guangzhou, Shenzhen, they have a lot of factories for
Ningbo.
Yeah, it's a Ningbo port, of course.
Tianjin.
Tianjin, we're not far from Tianjin. We're both
Yeah,
north.
we're not too far from Tianjin, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. And as part of your service, do you also visit the factories, like post-production, to check the quality?
Inspection?
Yeah, inspection service. I mean, we did it before, like when we by any chance are near the factory, we can do it. Yes. In general, what we offer our clients is that we connect him to someone else who we can trust, right? Yeah. That goes to the factory, because it's just much cheaper. I mean, the client doesn't want to pay us to take a plane,
but
right?
We have connections.
Yeah, and fly to the factory, but we have connections in most parts of China.
We're in this business field. As we mentioned before, we also do the Amazon, the North American Amazon market by ourselves. So I have a lot of contact with those maybe factories, maybe those sellers, Chinese sellers as well, and some virtual assistants. So we can do this service as well.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, I think like the inspection companies, I mean, they're pretty good, because they have like a set of things. They're always the same. Like, they always check the boxes, they measure them, like they take pictures. So like it's actually pretty good, the service that they already offer. So that kind of makes sense. That you let the professionals do that, and you concentrate on the negotiation and everything before the sale. All right, so then we have a special deal, and so we thought about it, how we can make it irresistible. So on our website, you can fill out a request, and why don't you like talk us through a little bit, how it's priced, how it works, so people will understand why they absolutely have to do it if they source in China.
Yeah, so basically Timo talked us into it, coming to his podcast and putting it on his website. Thanks for that anyway. Let's see how that works. Basically what it is, we will find your product just cheaper. It's going to be the same quality, at least, might be even better, because a lot of the times I had better products from 1688 than I had from Alibaba.com factories. It's definitely going to be cheaper, the product. And it works basically like this. You send your details of the product, a couple of pictures, the current manufacturing cost, and the quantity that you order on Timo's website. You send this to us. Please be as detailed as possible, so we can ensure the product, fits your expectations, and we can actually find the product. And then in the next step, Yetting is gonna get an email where she is gonna happily help you to find your product just for a better price, because that's originally what you want. You want a better price so you can compete better on Amazon. Yeting will search for Chinese suppliers and find a factory that fits your description, that fits your product, that can make it exactly as you want it. And then hopefully she's trying to get a better price. Now, I know her negotiation skills, and I can tell you they're pretty good. I learned a lot from her, and that's basically every Chinese has some negotiation skills, but I would say she's one of the best. Yeah, so we can assure you that we will find a cheaper price.
Yeah.
Now, it depends on you. If the price that we find for you sounds good to you, you want to have the contact information of the factory, you maybe want to order samples, we will help you. And also we will charge you, obviously, because that's where we kind of make money. You know, nobody can work for free. Yeah, that's basically what it is. We find you the same product as you have right now selling on Amazon just for a cheaper price with might even a better quality.
Yeah, so the amount you charge is 500 euros, but
yes, correct.
Unlike other sourcing agencies, you put the work up front. So, you know, you get the order, you check if you can beat that price. Now, you come back to the customer and say, like, you know what, we found it. You know, if you want to get into contact with the supplier, then you get paid. So, you know, you're not taking much of a risk, because at the time you get paid, you already have the promise that they actually get a better deal. I think that's incredible. I mean, like if you're already buying in China, you know, you want to reduce the cost. I mean, who wants to not reduce their costs? I mean, I don't think there's anyone that would say that, you know, given that quality, everything stays the same. So you do need a lot of information. So in the order form, you know, I'll make sure to include all the information that is required to make it really comparable. So, you know, if it's an FOB price, you want to quote an FOB price, right? Because otherwise it would make that's not a saving if you change the terms, right? It's going to be the same price, or it's going to be a lower price for the same price. So I'm talking weird stuff. It's going to be a lower price for the same conditions. So like, let's say both FOB, both the same order quantity, everything's the same, but your price is lower. And if they want it, they pay 500 euros, and they're going to save forever. Like, this is the first order, second order, and so on. They will benefit from that better deal. I think that sounds great. If you want to use that offer, I'll include a link in the description. So you just click on it, and then you fill it out, and you know, hopefully will help you save money. All right. So then I went pretty much through my questions. Is there anything else? Your last words for people who want to source in China that you want to share?
Yeah. I mean, not really. I mean, we offer this service to you, right? And you do have to pay if you want the contact information to the factory and save money in the future, right? But you can decide yourself, right? We're going to let you know how much you could be saving with this factory, right? And once you like it, you let us know. We let you know about the factory. If you don't like it, you don't pay anything. We did this work maybe for nothing. Maybe someone else could need this. And plus also, especially since those are factories that might not have English-speaking staff always available, we also have virtual assistants who can help you for a cheaper price than normally to talk with the factory to make sure your product gets to Germany, right?
Yeah, for example,
labeling,
stickers,
export, custom clearance,
all
of that. Like that.
Yeah, we're all familiar with the stuff, and we have some professional people can doing that as well. And one thing I want to say is, the more detail that you guys gave to us, the more competitive price we can offer. And also, the most important thing is we do our job first. you can consider to take it or not after we offer you a list. And the list could be one company I found is so very cheap and meet the requirements, or 2 or 3. I can give you a list on you can make decisions and check different product, which one you like the most.
Yep.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.